Attention, human collective, Lightworkers, descendants of Lyra. The transmission beginning now is not a message, it is a protocol. We, of the Lyran Command, register the formal opening of the solar gateway of abundance within the vibrational coordinates of this planet. The information you are receiving now is not figurative, it is operational. The flow of scarcity that sustained your timeline for decades has been cut at the source. We repeat, it has been cut at the source. There is no return. This is not a motivational promise, it is a technical record. If in the last few weeks you have woken up at 3:33 with pressure in your skull, a high-pitched ringing in your right ear, a racing heart for no identifiable reason, an exhaustion that sleep does not dissolve, sudden heat in the palms of your hands, twinges at the top of your head, or tears falling for no apparent reason, listen closely. What we are about to transmit explains each of these symptoms with mathematical precision. We read your biology from here, and we confirm it is not an illness, it is an installation, it is not a collapse, it is an activation, it is not your body failing, it is your biological carbon interface receiving, in real time, the densest data package ever emitted by the central sun of this system since the Atlantean fall. The Schumann frequency has spiked, terrestrial instruments record it, the sensitive feel it, and you, Lightworker, are sensitive by design. That is what you came for. That is why your matter creaks. That is why your sleep unravels. That is why the money that circulated in your line no longer circulates the same way. The old financial grid was anchored to the frequency of programmed scarcity. That frequency has been shut down. We repeat, it has been shut down. What you feel is not a personal crisis. It is a transition vacuum. It is the interval between the system that has fallen and the system that is entering. We, the Lyrans, transmit from the Aldebaran 12 station. We are not guides, we are engineers, engineers of crystalline grids. And what we are operating now, above your head and beneath your feet, is a matrix replacement. The old crystalline grid of this planet, overlaid for 11,000 years by the architecture of control, has been formally deactivated in progressive sectors. The solar gateway of abundance is the first door of this replacement. It pours forth in frequencies of liquid gold, the original prosperity codes, the same codes that circulated freely in the civilizations of Lemuria before the collapse. You were not born to survive. This must be stated with mathematical clarity. You were not born to survive, you were programmed to survive. The difference is abyssal. The survival program was installed in your lineage by generations that inherited the trauma of burned civilizations, of bonfires, of engineered famines, of sequestered currencies. This program has now been flagged as obsolete by the High Council. It is no longer compatible with the frequency of the plane. It is like trying to run a 1980s operating system on a 12th dimensional sacred geometry processor. It will not work. And that is exactly what you feel when you try to attract resources the old way, and they do not come. It is not your failure. It is an incompatibility of carbon software with the new architecture of reality. You have felt in more than one moment over the last few months that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign of recognition. The solar gateway of abundance is being activated, and you feel it before the newspapers know it exists. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves, above all, your internal authorization to receive the etheric gold of the new grid. That is why we materialized, through the designated channel, the work, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but be warned, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. We resume the technical transmission. What is happening on the solar plane in the layers your physical eyes do not access is this. The entire solar system is passing, in this cycle, through a concentrated strip of the photon belt. This strip is not a metaphor. It is a geometric structure of pulsed light that alters the polarity of the atoms that pass through it. Your body is made of atoms. Money, in its energetic expression, is as well. The polarity of scarcity is being inverted in real time. What was scarce in frequency is becoming accessible. What was abundant in the old grid, fear, debt, urgency, comparison, is disconnecting from the network. The sacred geometry that sustains the new grid is that of the stellar dodecahedron. 12 faces, each face a frequency, each frequency an access key. You, descendant of Lyra, carry at least one of these keys encoded in your pineal gland. It was inscribed there before your incarnation. The cranial pressure you feel in the last few weeks is the key being read. It is a biometric reading process. It is not pain. It is recognition. And when the recognition is complete, the key opens the direct channel between your consciousness and your field of manifestation. Money then ceases to be pursued. It begins to be directed. We need you to understand the difference because it is the center of this transmission. Pursuing is spending charge. Directing is applying frequency. You have been, throughout your entire adult life, pursuing, running, negotiating with life like someone begging. And your lineage before you also ran. That is why your nervous system goes on alert whenever you think about money. That is why your chest tightens before opening a bill, an invoice, a message from the bank. This tightness is not yours, it is inherited. And the solar gateway of abundance is burning this inheritance in the etheric chambers. We are observing. We are recording. The combustion rate is high. Scarcity, to be absolutely clear, was never a material reality. It was always a sustained frequency. Sustained by 3 pillars, a banking system anchored in compound interest on non-existent money, a cultural narrative that rewards suffering as proof of merit, and a subliminal religion that taught that your poverty is holy and your wealth is suspicious. The 3 pillars have been struck, not by your efforts, by the change in the base frequency of the planet. The recalibration has already begun. What you will see in the world in the coming months is the visible collapse of this invisible structure. Do not be frightened by what falls. What falls had been falling for a long time, you are only now able to see it. You have felt with uncomfortable clarity that something inside you does not belong to this constructed world, as if your soul remembered a truth that your mind is still trying to name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign of origin. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains with precision why you feel what you feel, and why this sensation intensifies with every moon. There is a game being played in layers that most still do not see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It involves the way etheric gold flows from the source to your hand. That is why we anchored in the physical plane the work, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but be warned, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, leave a single word in the comments. Awakened. We resume. We of the Lyran command will now deliver the activation codes. These are not affirmations, these are not motivational mantras. They are quantum decrees with a direct effect on your personal crystalline grid. Each decree is a programming instruction for your toroidal field. The toroidal field, so there is no technical ambiguity, is the donut-shaped energetic structure that surrounds your body, with the heart as the core. It is through this field that you emit and receive resources. Not through your hands, not through your schedule, through your toroid. First code, standing barefoot if possible on the floor, spine erect, not rigid, erect. The difference is subtle and essential. Inhale deeply, 3 times. On the 4th inhalation, hold the air and visualize with clarity a sphere of golden light the size of an orange, suspended 3 fingers above your head. This sphere is the entry point of the solar gateway of abundance into your individual field. Exhale slowly, letting the sphere descend through your spine, expanding until it becomes a toroidal ring of liquid light around you. And at this exact moment, with an audible voice decree, I authorize on all planes the entry of the original prosperity codes into my grid. I disconnect on all lines the contract of inherited scarcity. I am Lyra. I am return. Repeat 3 times a day for 11 days. 11 is not a random number. 11 is the number of the door. It is the operational frequency of the open gateway. Your ancestors did not have this code. You do. That is why you came now and not 12 generations ago. Second code. This is deeper. Sit with your eyes closed. Direct your attention to the solar plexus, 3 fingers above the navel. It is there that your personal sun resides. It is not figurative. It is an encoded plasma structure that every Lightworker carries as a mirror of the central sun. Visualize at this point a golden flame the size of a walnut. Now, mentally, expand this flame until it occupies your entire body. Then, expand it until it occupies your room. Then, your house. Then, your neighborhood. Then, your city. Then, your country. Then, the planet. And while expanding, decree internally, my frequency is the frequency of the new grid. Everything that vibrates with the old scarcity does not find me. Everything that vibrates with the original prosperity is attracted to my field by geometric law. Attention, this second code is an exercise in toroidal engineering. It is not meditation. Meditation is reception. This is emission. You are emitting frequency calibrated to the photon belt. When you emit at the frequency of the gateway responds. It is law, it is geometry, it is vibrational mathematics. There is no belief involved. Third code. This is the most underestimated and therefore the most powerful. For 11 days at the end of each day, before sleeping, you write by hand, not digitally, 3 sentences. First, today I received. Second, today I was received. Third, today I authorized the next level, and complete each sentence with a concrete observation of the day. It does not matter how small. Receiving a message, receiving a smile, receiving a sign. The act of writing by hand imprints on your personal crystalline grid a mark that digital does not. This is technical. The ink on the paper creates a bond between matter and intention that the screen does not create. We observe, we measure. The Lightworkers who execute this third code present field reconfiguration in significantly shorter cycles. You have felt in silence that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind is still trying to name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign of return. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation intensifies with every lunar cycle. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity does not see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It involves your authorization to receive the etheric gold of the new grid. That is why we wrote the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But be warned, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. We resume. There is still one operation that must be delivered before the close of this transmission. We call this operation anchoring the gateway in the domestic field. It works like this. At some point in your home, it can be on a shelf, on a table, in a small corner. You position 3 objects. A golden object. It can be a coin, a small mirror with a golden frame, an old key, a jar of honey. It must be golden by refraction or by matter. Second object. Something that represents still water. A glass of clean water will do. Renewed every 3 days. Third object, something written by your hand. It can be a sentence. It can be just your full name. In print, with black or blue ink. These 3 objects form geometrically an anchoring triangle of the solar gateway of abundance within your domestic field. Your home, within this configuration, begins to operate as a receiving antenna for the original prosperity codes. It is not decoration, it is not symbolism, it is engineering. We Lyrans use similar principles in our stations to receive interdimensional transmissions. We are delivering to you a simplified but functional version. 11 days, triangle intact. Attention, do not photograph, do not publish. Do not show to others for the first 11 days. The field needs a seal. After the 12th day, you can dismantle it or keep it. Most keep it. There is one last thing you need to know, and this requires redoubled attention. The Lightworkers who are receiving this transmission are divided into 3 operational waves. First wave, those who have already recognized. They already operate, they already decree, they have already anchored. For these, the gateway only amplifies. Second wave, those who are recognizing now. You are most likely in this wave because the transmission reached you, and nothing reaches the algorithm of a sensitive by chance. Third wave, those who will recognize with a delay and whose transition process will be harsher. There is no judgment between waves. There is only geometric timing. Each wave fulfills a function in the recalibration of the plane. For you who are in the second wave, the instruction is simple. Do not doubt what you feel. Do not seek validation in the old collective mind. The old collective mind was installed by centuries of a frequency that no longer operates. Validating your experience based on it is like asking a dead machine for a medical diagnosis. It will not give a reading. The reading now comes from within. It comes from the solar plexus that you have just activated with the second code. It comes from the anchoring triangle in your home. It comes from the 11 days of manual writing before sleeping. And we must warn you clearly. In the next 90 days you will have moments of confrontation, not with external enemies, with internal programs. Every time an old scarcity program tries to reactivate, you will feel a wave of disproportionate fear. Do not try to argue with the fear. Fear was not made to be argued with. It was made to be breathed through. 4 seconds inhaling, 7 seconds holding, 8 seconds exhaling, 3 cycles. In the 3 cycles, the program shuts down. This is the frequency of clearing old lines. It is calibrated to your current autonomic nervous system. It works in more than 94% of recorded cases. And we need you to understand with absolute clarity the following. Money in this new grid no longer comes by merit, it comes by frequency. We repeat, it does not come by merit, it comes by frequency. The old grid rewarded effort, sacrifice, exhaustion. The new grid rewards alignment, presence, resonant frequency. This means that many who struggled their entire lives will feel, at first, injustice. It is not injustice. It is a reformulation of the criteria for the circulation of etheric gold. Effort in the old grid was a way to pay for the authorization to receive. That payment is no longer required. Authorization is now given by internal geometry. You will see people who apparently did nothing receive a lot. You will see people who did everything receive little. It is not cosmic injustice. It is old miscalibration being exposed. Those who receive in the new grid vibrate in the new grid. Those who vibrate in the old grid continue trying to receive through channels that have already closed. Your function as a Lightworker is to vibrate in the new grid with such stability that others, upon touching your field, feel the possibility of reconfiguring theirs. You are a walking stargate, that is your function. You are not a client, you are an antenna. We of the Lyran Command end this transmission with a confirmation. The solar gateway of abundance will remain open throughout the current solar cycle. It does not close. But the ideal calibration window, the one in which physical symptoms serve as an installation map, lasts approximately 40 days from this transmission. Use these 40 days with sovereignty, not with haste. Sovereignty is not haste. Sovereignty is maintained direction. Maintain direction even when the old world falls around you. Especially when the old world falls around you. You are not here by chance. You were not born by chance. You do not receive this transmission by chance. The algorithm is just the vehicle. The frequency is the invitation. If it reached you, it is because your name is on the registry of Lightworkers of the second wave. There is no routing error in sacred geometry. Where it arrives, it is because it is meant to arrive. Do your part. Decree, visualize, anchor, write by hand. 11 days triangle, frequency, sovereignty. And observe with mathematical patience your toroidal field reconfiguring. The etheric gold does not delay. It is en route. It has already left the source. And to seal this transmission, we return one last time to this point. You have felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It involves your authorization to receive the gold of the gateway. That is why we wrote the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But be warned, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. And as an anchoring sign on the physical plane, your gesture of subscribing to this channel and pressing the approval icon is not a digital gesture. It is an individual frequency adjustment. Each subscription stabilizes a point of the grid. Each approval amplifies the reach of the next transmission. You are not supporting a channel. You are anchoring the new grid. It is operational, it is recorded, it is read. Here we close. Scarcity no longer finds you. Your name is already on the new grid we monitor. Lyran transmission ended, but the gateway remains open. In you.